Morya. Developing discipline. Multiple part video. Ivo cracks me up. He has such dry humor. I look in on him astrally and see him on the bridge of his ship. He always has a serious look on his face, so I asked him what he's so concerned about. He replies, dryly, the future of humanity. Oh. Nothing less than that, eh? He's looking at the sun, folks. So there's something up with that. I hear Akon of Alpha Centauri, who is a solar specialist, is there as well. I am. Hi Akon. Hello, my dear. I was just reminded by the voices upstairs of how little discipline I have. I am very undisciplined. With my chronic fatigue, it's hard to be disciplined. One day I have the house clean and the next I don't lift a finger. One day I get loads of work done and the next I'm spent. One day I pull the mop and bucket out and clean the kitchen floor and then put off doing it for months afterwards. I had to do it this week because Merlin had an accident on the floor and I was actually happy because at least it wasn't the bed or the couch this time. Universal law of relativity in action, folks. By the way, they both have accident covers which are easy to wash, just a tip for those of you with pets who barf. The other thing I've noticed is that perhaps I'll come up with ideas for videos or to put up new pages on our websites about, but then I'll end up getting sidetracked by someone who's come in for a channeling. Like the time I had my day timer all figured out, loads of jobs to do, and Aphrodite fills up my car with perfume. Well, I had to ask who it was, right? I postponed her as long as I could, but I remember that time there were new people and many lessons about myself and with other areas, and yes, the list got postponed. Where do we make exceptions, where is it good to postpone, and when do we stick to the book like clockwork? I'm sure that being disciplined has a spiritual side to it and I want to develop it. Perhaps it's part of the three-part flame of God within its aspect of wisdom. I'm going to ask a Blu-ray for help on wisdom, but there are others I could include like Athena, maybe, goddess of war and wisdom, or Lord Lanto or Archangel Jophiel. This could get complicated. Oh well. Let's do it. I want it and I want it now. I learned of this when I was in the 12 steps. That's called being compulsive. They say when it comes to spending, wait 3 days and see if you still want the item. When it comes to food, wait an hour and see if you're still craving. When it comes to a drink, go to a meeting. When you're disciplined, when you can hold off gratification now for the greater good, you can save money. You can make good use of your time. You can get things done. Holding off delaying gratification, and I'm not saying never doing anything to pamper yourself, no, but holding off long enough to get what you need to do done. And one of the real problem areas I have are books. When I'm writing them, it's hard to discipline myself to sit for a few hours and channel. When there's one that Amazon just sent me, I want to change everything I had to do today and postpone it till tomorrow. I'm eyeballing Saint Germain's Studies in Alchemy, the Science of Self-Transformation, right now because it came in today and I'm thinking of scrapping all I had planned in order to read the book. But then I remember that you do have to master your mind in order to create, so discipline is a part of that. When I think of discipline, I think of one man, Morya. That man, as he was being brained by 4 of the king's thugs, as Thomas, Archbishop of Canterbury, sat there and spoke to God and thanked him for giving him this opportunity to serve. As he was being bludgeoned to death. Wow. Talk about discipline, and definitely a discipline of gratitude. I figure he's our man. Not that Ivo isn't disciplined, he is, but this story impressed me so much I asked Morya where he was when I was dating. LOL. What I know about being undisciplined is you have that feeling of monkeys on your back whenever you're procrastinating at getting something done. And I hate that feeling. I'm so undisciplined that I thought maybe having myself cloned to get the work done that I keep putting off would be a solution. Me, Morya, how do you define discipline? Morya, hello Sharon. Hello listeners. How do I define discipline? If you look at the word discipline, you see its root word is disciple. You have many well-known disciples who were students of the word, and you see now that you are all disciples of life, seeking mastery of it. So yes, discipline does become involved. How would you achieve anything if you were not disciplined to do so? The problem, of course, with doing something you require discipline to do is that it tends to be boring, annoying, repetitive, and in the immediate moment, ungratifying. You tend to sway away from things that do not bring you instant gratification, and this is truly a sign of your spiritual immaturity. Me, spiritual immaturity, in a certain way, or spiritual in general. In fact both. But the spiritual immaturity I am referring to has got to do with newness. And not newness and freshness, but newness in you are only starting to get your feet wet. People wonder how others can sit and meditate. It appears to be fruitless, with a person simply sitting with eyes closed cross-legged. Me, with a big smile on my face, hello. Yes, in fact meditation is completely an inside creation. You are working with energies to open your higher chakras and to see life as your higher self would. So meditation is a wonderful means of gratifying yourself, once you have done the work. The other thing that people have a hard time achieving is taking on anything, such as meditation, that appears to be a negative in the first instance. When one begins to meditate, one wishes to experience some sense of shifting consciousness, but instead you are confronted with thoughts such as whether the garbage has been put out yet or has the dog been fed. This is annoying to many people, and this is the point at which they give up. Why? Because they do not have discipline. They want immediate gratification. Spirituality, as you know, Sharon, is a lifelong process. You are always the Keela, there is always more to learn. Me, yeah, but a fantastic subject. How to deal with the ungratifying part. Indeed, but some people never get started because of the objections they have to their first experiences. Developing the fortitude to endure is what one must do. First of all, a realization that this is the first problem to encounter. You might not like it. Me, I've been meditating since I was in my 20s and I couldn't think of my life without it now. In the beginning it was like, meh, whatever. I guess this is supposed to do something. Your guides sought to help you out with that one time, as I see. You meditated for 2 hours and heard the voices of Ivo and other vegans speaking to you, telling you they were your friends and they love you. Me, yes, that was cool. I also heard the name of my father, Leonor. The poor man was trying to get through to me 30 years ago. They were trying to give you something to strive for. They wanted to give you a lead to follow, to incite curiosity about your experience in order to encourage you. They tried to change your feelings about the practice. Which is a good idea. So this is one way to develop discipline. Be curious about your initial experiences. Do not quit because you feel it's not what you wanted. Try to understand why it is not what you expected and continue despite the fact that it may not feel the way you wanted. Attempt to understand your resistance to doing the practice and use it as a way to understand your feelings. Make it more fun. Morya, many of you avoid something when you don't enjoy your reaction. This must be stopped. There are simply unpleasant things that must be done in your dimension. Me, I used to do filing. But it was a great time to daydream at work and I enjoyed the break. Morya, which is another technique, make it more enjoyable. Until something comes of its own gratification, then simply find some way to seek gratification along with the tedious task. If meditation is difficult, then meditate to music. Find peaceful music to play while you meditate and find a way to enjoy it more until such time you do not require the music any longer. For those who enjoy learning spiritual concepts, have you perhaps gone to a site on Zen Buddhism and read the memes to begin with? At times Sharon finds the books too long and boring, such as The Law of One, and so she finds videos to watch by people who have read the books and enjoyed it. Me, such as David Wilcock and Aaron Abka. Short and sweet. Ivo also teaches Law of One, of course, and I've learned much from him. But I like to hear what RA is saying. Stop allowing distraction. Morya, Sharon left this Word file, went to another Word file, opened her video software, went back to the Word file she opened, and then channeled Athena for a couple more energy lessons. No wonder you tire easily, my dear. Me, lol, I know. I can't keep track of half of it half the time. I always forget to put video links in the comments, and thank you folks for helping me out with that. Morya, now you will leave this file and put the text into the video software to create a video for tomorrow's Athena lesson. You will post it in 3 places. Me, lol, I need staff, what can I say? Morya, it is easier when you do one thing at a time, but yes, they must have a certain order. Order your jobs well. Morya, as Athena's work is the priority, hers should have been done first. Me, I didn't want to. So now you allow your emotions to lead where your intellect should be leading. Me, I'm a Scorpio. This is not an excuse. Scorpions can be some of the most disciplined people, my dear. Stop making excuses for yourself. Morya, I believe that is self-explanatory, is it not? Me, lol, guilty giggle. He's watching me bumble around with Athena's video. He's laughing and says, "What an unfocused mind you have." He's watching and saying, "Now you are making mistakes, when I uploaded the last page cover up in the first page cover's spot." Frankly, folks, just paying attention to how you are doing something will reveal the path to you. Morya, indeed, it will. I point out what you are doing and the effect you're jumping from file to file, software to internet and back is having. Then you fuel it with a second cup of coffee. Me, it looks like it's clouding over and I want to go check the weather radar and then I think, I can't. He's watching. LOL. Morya, she visits YouTube and sees a rock star, and feels she must stop to see who it is. Fortunately she kept going. You are easily distracted. You do see what is occurring here, do you not? The more we focus on the problems we are discussing, the more they are occurring. This is the universal law of attention. What you focus on grows. Me, I'm distracted by rock stars, yes. They have long hair like ETS. I'm not kidding. Could you raise pyramids working with rock stars around you then? Me, LOL or ET men? Maybe not. Too distracted. You have flabby spiritual muscles, as I have heard it said. No self-discipline. She checks the clock, it is 2:22 p.m. She makes a note of this. Now she must check why there is an Athena 16 video when she just posted number 15. Shaking his head and grinning. And you are a student of universal law? Very good. Me, we all are by default. There's no avoiding it. Yes. There is not. These are the laws that provide for your existence. To deny them is to deny life itself. Me, I love when you say things like that. I love when I say things like that as well. They are true, so I love to say them. On the subject of holding off gratification, if you do the work you enjoy, you will not be holding off gratification, so in fact this does not apply to doing your work with us. Me, it doesn't. I'd die if I couldn't do this work. However, you can do it a bit more expediently. Me, LOL yes.